Welcome to this video on profit and loss, and in this videos we are going to deal with questions based on consignments. So a trader buys a consignment and marks it up by 60%. He sells 50 items of 50% of the items at mark price. Of the remaining he sells 50% at a discount of 20%. The rest he sells at cost price. What is his overall profit or loss percent? This is your question. Now, let us look at what all information is given. Now, we can see that all information is given in terms of percentage. So, as a rule, we are better off assuming some values. And what is the question? The question is overall profit or loss percent. Now, one thing that should immediately come to your mind is, पूछा अगर प्रॉफिट और लॉस परसेंट है तो आपको टोटल कॉस्ट चाहिए और इसके अलावा यू नीड द टोटल सेल, द टोटल रेवेन्यू दैट ही रिसीव्स. But we don't know about the price, the cost price or the selling price. We don't even know about the number of items he buys. So the best strategy is you assume that number of items bought is 100 units and the cost price is 1 rupee per unit. तो एक चीज तो पक्का हो गई. What is the total cost? 100 into 1, 100 rupees. So in order to calculate profit or loss percent, you need both total cost and the total revenue. One of the values you've already calculated, that is the total cost. Now let us use the remaining information given in the question. He marks up his consignment by 60%. So if the consignment is marked up by 60%, what is the relation between cost price and mark price? So mark price must be 160% of cost price, CP plus 60% of CP. So that is 1.6 rupees. So your marked price is 1.6 rupees. Then he sells 50% of the items at the marked price. So 50% of items means out of 100 units, he sells 50 at the marked price. And we will calculate revenue on the right side so that we can easily add up the items remaining. Now 50% is already sold, that is 50 units are already gone. Of the remaining means balance. So once 50 are sold, the balance number of items must be 50. 100 minus 50. And of these 50, he sells 50% at a 20% discount. So balance number of items is 50. And of these 50, he sells 50%, that is 25 items at a discount of 20%. Now discount is always calculated on the mark price. And when the discount is 20%, we have seen that the relationship between selling price and mark price is selling price is 80% of mark price. So the discounted selling price, the first selling price was the marked price itself. The second selling price is the discounted price, that is 80% of 1.6, which is your mark price. This is 1.44. So 1.44 is the discounted price, the first discounted price. So once the 75 items are sold, how many remain? 25 are balance. And the rest he sells at cost price. These are sold at the cost price. So you calculate the money received by him, 80. And then 25 are sold for how much? Oh, I'm sorry. I made a small mistake in calculating the selling price, it seems. So the second selling price is 80% of 1.6, that is 1.28. So I should have 1.28 here. So this revenue 25 into 1.28 is 32 rupees. And here 25 into 1 gives me 25 rupees. So if you add up, you will get 137 rupees as the total sale. What was your original cost? 100 rupees. What is your sale? 137 rupees. So percentage profit now can be easily calculated as 137 minus 100 upon 100 into 100. That is 37%. Next, a trader buys a consignment and marks it up by 80%. He then sells 20% of the consignment at the marked price. Of the remaining, he sells 25% at a discount of 20%. Of the remaining, he sells 50% at a discount of 30%. The rest he sells at a discount of 50%. Find his overall profit or loss percent. My suggestion to you is, if you are a beginner, make sure that you watch this video 3 or 4 times. Try solving this question on your own before you go to the sheet. It will help you enormously. Once again, since this is a consignment question and all values are given in percentage terms, we are better off assuming. So we assume that we buy 100 units at 1 rupee per unit. So what is our total cost? Total cost is 100 rupees. So we've easily calculated the total cost. Now all we need is we need to calculate the revenue. But before we calculate the revenue, let us see what is the marked price. He marks up his consignment by 80%. So his marked price must be 180% of cost price, CP plus 80% of cost price, or 180% of cost price, जो भी आपको पसंद है. So marked price is 180% of 1 rupee, that is 1.8 rupees. He then sells 20% of the consignment at the marked price. So he sells 20% of the consignment at the marked price. So how much will he get? He should get 36 rupees. Now after 20% of the goods are sold, the remaining number of goods are 100 minus 20. Balance goods are 80. 100 minus 20, that is. So he says, the question says, of the remaining he sells 25% at a discount of 20%. So your second selling price must be a discounted price, discounted by 20%. And when the marked price is discounted by 20%, selling price is 80% of the marked price. That is 80% of 1.8, which is 1.44. So he sells 25% of the balance. What is 25% of the balance? 25% of 80 is 20 goods, 20 items. He sells at 1.44 rupees. That would give him 20 into 1.44 is 28.8 rupees. Next, of the remaining he sells 50% at a discount of 30%. Now 40 are sold. After the second process, the balance goods will be only 60. And he sells 50% at a discount of 30%. So that should give us the third selling price in this case. So which is at a discount of 30%. Discount of 30% means 70% of the mark price. So 70% of the mark price in this case will be 1.26 rupees. And of the balance 60 items, he sells half at 1.26 rupees, which will give him 37.8 rupees. And finally, he must be left with balance of 30 goods. And these 30 goods he sells at a discount of 50%. So the remaining 30 goods he sells at a discount of 50%. So 50% discount means 50% on 1.8, that is 0.9 rupees. So into 0.9, which will give him 27 rupees. And so the total should be 129.6 rupees. Now the percentage profit can be easily calculated as 129.6 minus 100, which is our cost, divided by 100 into 100, that is equal to 29.6%. So we can see that all these questions based on traders and consignments can be solved by making some simple assumptions. All you need is, you need the value of total cost and you need the value of total sale. If you get that, you can easily compute the profit as 29.6%. So with this we come to an end of this video. I again and again suggest all of you, make sure that you solve these, you watch these videos more than once. Watch these videos, take down notes, make sure that you solve questions again and again. It will help you enormously if you're a beginner. That's all. Thank you very much.